Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin LaVore and
Michelle LaVore
coming at you with a little dog extravaganza outside our hotel door, but whatever. And super amazing, right? Like that word I got last night was just like, I really felt like that was the Lord, right? And then someone emailed me today with basically a confirmation post from a Facebook page where this guy was basically kind of saying the same things I was saying, but coming at it from a completely different angle with different spices and all that stuff. But it was almost like that sense of like things are coming to an end. Your desert time, your desert wandering, all that coming to an end. You know, expect a visitation from the Lord. And in the midst of all that, I was like, wow, this is amazing. We were literally like getting the same kind of word from the Lord at the same time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
crazy.
But it was really good, wasn't it?
It was
super good, super good. I put it on my Facebook page, my Devin LaVore's Facebook page, and I would just go and just read that thing because I forget his name. Right offhand because I just learned it.
Yeah.
You remember what it was?
I don't know.
There it is, right there. It's right there, right there. But yeah, so keeping in flow with that, we got a question from one of our good friends, and she was basically saying, can you expound on what it means to have a visitation, and what exactly does that mean, a visitation? Well, honestly, it could mean anything, you know?
Yeah.
It really could. There is no like, look up the biblical definition of visitation and you can find, oh, that's what it means right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, there is a biblical definition of visitation, but it's like when Jesus came as the Messiah, he said he wept over Jerusalem because they missed the day of their visitation. You know, there were 3 angels that came to visit Abraham. One of them was the Lord. That was the visitation from God. You know, some people, they have angelic visitations, but, you know, maybe where God comes to you in a dream or something like that. Rick Joyner, where he's taken up into heaven, and he has all these encounters or visitations. I guess you can call them encounters or visitations, but whatever you call them, basically it indicates that God is getting ready to show up in your life in a most dramatic, intense kind of way.
I think like it can be so different for every person because God is doing different things in people's lives.
And you're different.
And
you know?
and so, you know, what might be a deep encounter with the Lord for one person, for another person, they might experience that all the time. And so
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah.
New level of the Lord visiting them might be like, hey, I'm taking you up to heaven. You know, so it really...
Something crazy.
Something crazy like that. That would be amazing. But I probably would never want to come back.
You wouldn't. And that might be the reason you never get one. God's like, you'll get there. Trust me, you'll get there. But Michelle,
I know.
I love you. I don't want to ruin your life by bringing you here. You will be ruined.
Yeah.
You will be undone. You will never want to come back to earth.
Like,
you'd be like, I was depressed for 4 years. What happened? Well, the Lord took me up to heaven.
Yeah.
And I've been like heaven sick since then.
Yeah.
That would be totally you.
It would be. But it's just like God, it really is almost like his visitation to you is really just, he's going to meet with you in a way, and I feel like it's in a way that you haven't experienced him before. And
it's going to be extraordinary. It's going to be life-changing. It's going to be epic. It's going to be like, whoa. Like a visitation from the Lord is when he came down on Mount Sinai. You know, that was a visitation from the Lord.
Yeah, I think
there's so many biblical examples you can use for it.
Anytime like the angels came and visited, you know, you've got Mary and Zechariah, and you know, those were all like visitations of God just kind of showing or revealing himself. And
that's
and I think honestly that post that the guy that we just read, he actually has on there just kind of similar things, very much like the visitation of the Lord could be in dreams, it could be just like you're just with the Lord, like visions and
he said angelic conversation.
Yeah.
It could literally be Jesus showing up in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, blah, 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 let's talk. You know what I mean? It's like, God is so creative in the way that he does things. There is no like, oh, this is what the visitation means. It really just means some sort of dynamic showing up. That's why I referenced in that video about Jesus, he was the provision coming up the dark side of the mountain that Abraham didn't know about.
Yeah.
You know, even that lamb, even in Abraham's situation, that lamb represented, that was caught in the thicket, or the ram caught in the thicket, it represented Jesus, who will be crucified on the cross on that very mountain.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. But it was like, that's what it was for us. You know, allergies are kicking my butt. Anyway, it's like, in that vision that we first got when we got here to Nashville, Tennessee, that Jesus himself stepped out and said, I'm here. Not, like I said, I don't know what that actually means. We will see. You know, it could be a fulfillment of the vision, but I just know that, like, I feel like the Lord gave me even more revelation about it last night. And I was just thinking, Lord, if it means, like, you know, a miraculous setting us up to get toward her house, or actually get into her house, or all of that stuff is really amazing and fantastic, but that cannot be the visitation.
Yeah.
That can't be the fulfillment of all the promise and all that stuff. That alone cannot be the visitation.
Yeah.
A fulfilling of a promise and heart's desire, that cannot be the visitation, because without you there, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, and
it's just like winning the lottery. Well, great, I won the lottery, but I need more of the Lord, you know?
Well, and I think, like, a lot of times, or at least there's some significant times in the Bible when there was a visitation from the Lord, it was actually followed by the fulfillment of the promise.
Sure.
So, like
every time.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, you know,
yeah.
With Mary, she got visited by the angel of the Lord, and
God was doing something huge.
Yeah, and then Jesus comes after, you know.
A little trinket from heaven, you know.
And even with Zechariah, you know, you end up having John the Baptist. And Abraham, when God comes and visits him, he's there, he has a visit with the Lord who is there to fulfill a promise. And it's very much like
and destroy a couple cities.
And destroy a couple cities.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I really do, it's like there's something about a visitation from God bringing about the fulfillment of the promise.
Yes. Now let's go to the open door vision. Like this, what is it? Last night I was playing chess, right? And I lost a chess game, which brought my chess rating down to 777 because I lost 7 points. And I'm like, wow. I was like, okay. And I just like, it was the last game I played, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And lately, I mean, since the 18th, I think I might have missed one morning, but the Lord's been waking me up every morning. And we've been having these amazing encounters with God, you know?
Yeah.
I have. Me and him have been having these amazing encounters, right? And I was like, whatever, a quad 7. Wow, this is great. And I just got this sense like God is taking it up a level.
Yeah.
It's not just the triple numbers and prepare for visitation. It's like, this is going to be intense. And I was like, okay, whatever, we'll see. Maybe that was the Lord. Maybe that's just really late. You know, had too much Costco muffin or something. I don't know. And so I wake up this morning, and sure enough, I'm like, okay, good. The Lord is meeting with me again. Let's go. I wake up at 7:07, and I was like, okay. And so I went into this encounter with the Lord, and there's a lot that goes into it. But the bottom line is, I went and I studied the number 7, and he was giving me revelation about these things, and he reminded me that the very first number I ever got was 777. It marked like 7 days of feasting, three sevens, like 7 days. Oh, and they were so excited they extended the feast another 7 days. Yes, and the Lord said to me, he said, add another 7. And I was like, wow, okay, 21 days of feasting. What's that all about? And that was to confirm the banquet door vision that he showed me, where we're all standing in front of the doors blow open by the strong gust of the Spirit, and the Spirit lifts us up. Like, we literally are lifted up into the air, and we're like spiraled around, and then we're set in this banquet table. And it's like, the banquet table and everything we're feasting on is the promises of God, the fulfillment of promises, the long-awaited desires of our heart and all that. But what makes it so great is that Jesus is at the head of the table. You see, and it's like when Moses said, he said, Lord, he's like, yeah, you need to go up with us, because if you don't go up with us, if you're just going to send us, that's not good enough. You need to go up with us, because if you don't go, I'm not going. I was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, that's what Moses was like. What is the point of all that? You know, we don't want to go by ourselves. We want you to be with us.
Yeah.
And then Moses and God was like, of course, I'm going to be with you, you know. And
I think that was even like Mount Sinai is again an example of like God came and like presented himself first to the people.
Yeah.
With the every intention that he was going to take them into the promised land after that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
do something glorious and impressive, like Paul Keith Davis talked about.
Yeah.
He said the Lord said that I wanted to impress them, you know, and it's like, yeah, he wanted to take them in himself.
Yeah. But, you know, for them, of course, a lot of us know the story, like they get impatient, they turn and all of that.
They didn't even go in.
Yeah, they didn't because of that generation.
Because they just wanted their own little safe lives. We had a big old long conversation about this.
Yeah.
Yestermorn.
Yeah. So I guess maybe like a question could be too is like you say, you know, get ready for a visitation. Like how do you get ready and prepare yourself for a visitation?
Well, I'll just be expecting it. Just come into agreement with it and just be like, all right, Lord, is this what you're doing? I am ready. It's like Mary. Perfect example. She's like, wow, okay, well, may it be done unto me according to your word. Like if this is really you and I'm really having this crazy experience, then may it be done unto me according to your word, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, and you just expect, there's nothing you can do. A lot of times you hear that and naturally in our minds we naturally think, okay, what do I got to do to get ready? And we go all Martha on it. And it's like, no, that's not really what you do. You just kind of have to go Mary on it. You know, you just sit and just be like, all right, Lord, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, but there's this expectation. You know, it's like when you find out you're pregnant. It's like, oh, this is awesome. There's this expectation. It's an expectation of a long process.
Yeah.
But it's an expectation of a baby to come. But, you know, we're in the place where I feel I don't want to throw a time frame on it. I really don't want to do that to mess anybody up. I don't want to delude or deceive people or even pump you up or anything. But what I've been sensing from the Lord as far as the end zone, not the end game, but the end zone, like the zone where we're coming to the end, where the 21 days will begin to happen, or I'm not really completely sure on how it all will take place.
Yeah.
But it's like we're at the water breaking point. We're at the the crowning point, you know, because water breaking and crowning are two different times.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. We're in this very close place where we're close to seeing the thing born. Naturally, there's just expectation there.
Yeah.
And it's just almost like, all right, Michelle, get ready because it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's coming out, you know, maybe one more push.
Yeah.
And it's coming out. Get ready. Meaning get ready to receive.
Yeah.
Get ready to receive the promise. Get ready to receive this baby. You know, and it's like, you know, and it's like, you know, like you bought a house. It's like, all right, get ready because I'm coming over with the keys. Well, what do you need to do to get ready when the realtor's coming over with the keys to your house? What do you get? You're just expectant. You're just like, okay, that means, oh, you're coming over with the keys? Okay, cool. And you hang up the phone and you start, you know, oh, I think I need to go to the store for something. And you know what I mean? You're not getting ready. You're not ready for it. You're not expecting it. You're just almost like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah,
well, I think it kind of goes back to even this morning you were talking about of just be at rest. But it's really like just being in tune with the Lord of just like, you know, you aren't, like you said, you're not going to the store. You're not, it's just like your spirit is just quiet before the Lord so that it's like when he does come, if he's like, you know, you're feeling a tug of like, hey, let's go do, you know, let's go have some time together. And it's like you just go and then God can meet with you. I think it's really just being in a place where you are just ready to have the Lord come and invite you to have an experience. Because I think it reminds me of, and I think it was Jesse Duplantis maybe.
Oh,
he
with
was
Devin?
no, he was sharing, or somebody like that was sharing where they were at a diner and they were having dinner together.
That's Jesse Duplantis.
Yeah, and Jesse Duplantis was just like, they were just having great conversation. It was other, I think, friends
it was like
of
some
his.
sort of conference, and they were probably ministers too,
Yeah,
or stuff like
and
that, you know?
they're just talking and
my
sharing,
gosh.
and they're eating dinner, and he just really felt like, I need to go home. Like, God has something.
Well, he needed to go up into his hotel room.
Yeah,
He's like, I gotta
yeah.
go back to my hotel room.
And he kind of, just sat there for a little while, just almost kind of like.
Well, because he's like, I could have ignored it.
Yeah.
Because it was just a little nudge, like, hey, come here.
Yeah.
Come here. Come on.
And he finally was just like, you know what, guys, I gotta go to, I gotta leave. It's been great, but I really have to leave. And so he left, and he ends up having an encounter with the Lord. And
he got taken up into heaven for 3 hours.
Yeah. So and that's kind of, I guess, what I just mean, that's kind of the place you need to be, of just expecting the Lord to do something, and if you do have any sort of nudge, to just go in and go with it, because you do want to be able to experience the Lord and have what he wants for you. And
so I think I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times there really isn't anything you can do.
Yeah.
It's just, it puts you, when you say get ready, right here, get ready here.
Mm-hmm.
Have your heart open and expectant, like when you're expecting company. It's like, ooh, okay, well, you know what I mean? But you're expecting company, but your house is already clean. You know what I mean? It's
so
like, what do you do?
Usually you just kind of sit, and
you're excited and you're waiting. It's like, ooh, this is going to happen.
Kind of peek out the window every once in a while.
Oh,
are they here?
Yeah. So that's what I mean by visitation from the Lord. Like, God is going to I really feel like he's getting ready to come in. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if the Lord's he's going to come in with this. I don't know if it's like a Santa Claus bag I'm seeing, but it's like he's just coming in and he's ready to do his thing. It's almost like when a master comes back from, like when he said, hey, I'm giving you 10 talents and 5 talents and 1 talent, that kind of thing, and then the master actually comes back. And he's like, okay, let's see, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
Yeah.
Who was faithful with a little? Like what Shanta Nicole TV talked about in her May prophetic word, I believe it was. She's talking about, you've been faithful with the little, so God's going to come in and reward you, and something like that. I don't know the details.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's just but I really do believe that God is just getting ready to show up. So yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, man. Which is the reason why the enemy has been attacking so nastily.
Yeah.
The past couple weeks, I know for a fact there are people out there that are getting hammered the past couple weeks like they've never been hammered. Mm-hmm. This is like, God hates me. It's like, no, you're just getting hammered by the enemy.
Yeah.
And so, so I hope that helps.
Yeah.
And anything else?
I don't think so.
Can't believe he slept the whole time.
Yay.
Yes. And dogs weren't barking, just only at the beginning. So.
Yep. So we just hope that you guys are encouraged with all of that. And really, until next time, we will see you guys later.
Yep. Love you guys.
Bye.
See ya.